the 2019 MLK Peace March and Community Celebration, where local organizations have joined forces to clean up and down 4th Street in preparation of the Peace March taking place on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day of Service.
This year we're partnering with the Wilmington Peacekeepers, 302 Guns Down, and Guerrilla Republic, and It's Not Okay. And the theme this year is Still Dreaming, and we host this event to honor Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy, but also to commit to building relationships with each other in the community to make, the West Side, the Wilmington, Delaware, a better place, and just improving life for every member of our community.
Prior to the Peace March, volunteers joined forces for a community cleanup along 4th Street.
This year is actually the first year that the Delaware Nature Society reached out, and we decided that prior to the Peace March at 2 o'clock, we would go out on the route that we will be marching and kind of pick it up a little bit, and also identify where there were some instances of graffiti.
The cold, dry weather in Wilmington, Delaware did not seem to affect those coming together in unity for Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day of Service.
I always see Martin Luther King Day as a day on to be able to go out and do service, and as a day to be able to connect with a community that I might not always be working with.
I think it's important for Comores and all companies to participate in the local community. The local community gives us, our company, other companies, the right to operate. So it only makes sense that we give back and we try to help support the local community when they ask of it. So it's really just the right thing to do, right? That's why I'm out, and that's why a lot of these other Comores folks are out supporting.
We talk a lot about working in silos, and I really want us to be an example of inclusion and how collaboration can only strengthen our communities.
Students from Delaware Futures decided to leave their homes on their day off of school to make it a day on of service in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The students created signs that were showcased during the MLK Peace March.
I wanted to participate in this because I feel like this will help change our community in different ways. Wilmington has a lot of violence in it, and I feel like this could bring us together for the better good. And I'm involved because I like to help in my community. I like the idea of equality and diversity, and I feel like this is the perfect thing for that.
I feel like Black Lives Matter, and we're sitting here and we're talking about Martin Luther King and what he did for us. And most of us are saying we had a dream and stuff, and it's so nice to be able to do a march.
Well, I'm here today because it's MLK Day, and I believe that MLK had a great dream, and I believe in his dream that peace and equality should be spread all across the world. So I want to be a part of that and push that across too.
Dr. King was a man of action, fighting for social justice and civil rights 365 days of the year, and on this day, when we honor his legacy, hundreds turn out to share their concerns in the community by taking action on a day that most people in our country are enjoying off.
I think it's always great to make time to volunteer, to be of service to the community. I think a lot of us are busy, we have a lot going on, and sometimes even those that have great intentions sometimes don't make it out. So on a day like this, especially if you are able to be off of work, why not take this time to be of service?
Well, it's such a great day in remembrance of Martin Luther King and all the things that he stood for as far as peace, equality, and, the children and the young kids coming together for such a positive way is what we're going to do to make sure we reduce violence in the streets, and they're getting it done, and I couldn't be more proud to be part of this and part of today's walk.
There was something for everyone: a community cleanup, a peace march, and a community celebration.
This is a wonderful day. There are any number of events celebrating the life of Dr. King and reminding all of us about the way we ought to be living our lives. And this is just one of those events.
Hundreds of volunteers spent their Monday living Dr. Martin Luther King's vision, and Councilman Bart Friel was among the many that turned out.
This is one of many events today as we celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. I think it's important that we remember his mission. I think it's as important today as it was back in the 60s. We're living through some difficult times, and I think his message of nonviolence and listening and discussing and loving each other is as important today as it ever was.
So what was this Day of Service all about? It's a day to celebrate not only Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and what he meant to this country as a whole, but a day to bring all communities around the country together to bring his vision of a beloved community to fruition. Reporting here in Wilmington, Delaware, Yesenia Taveras, WITN 22.